soon as you open that phone and you're scrolling through, you instantly come across a girl who's traveling in Paris, who is an entrepreneur, who is showered with dozens of roses, and instantly your life just feels so small. And you start to fear that you're missing out in life or you're doing something wrong. Ultimately, only you get to decide whether you are finally content and happy with what you have and whether you finally feel enough with who you are. And you can actually feel that right now, right this second, and I'm gonna show you how. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maham. If you're new here, I create a lot of self-help content, vlogs, and also sit down and chat videos as well. And today I wanna focus on comparison. How comparison is stopping you from becoming the best version of yourself. And I really wanna dive into why it happens and how we can stop it from ruining our lives. It's been really bothering me lately. I feel like I've been constantly stuck in this comparison trap, and I feel like what I've been learning about it can be incredibly helpful. So sit back, relax, grab your matcha, your coffee, your tea. It's nighttime, so I have my peppermint tea right here, and I just want to have like a very casual sit down and chat with you guys about what I've been learning about comparison. So when I'm alone, I feel like I'm on top of the world. I feel so happy and content with my life, and I'm so aligned with my purpose, and I just generally don't question the path that I'm on. But as soon as I hang out with other people or I open my phone and I look at what other people are doing with their lives, that is when doubt starts creeping in, and I start second guessing myself. I could be working harder. I could be switching my career path. I could be out there dating, meeting new people. I could lose more weight. Like there's always something more to be doing. Suddenly your life starts shifting from when you're completely content with your life to never feeling quite enough. Do you guys relate to that? The crazy part is you feel completely content and secure when you're on your own. It's only when you're surrounded by other people, like in social settings or when you're on your phone, where you start second guessing yourself. As soon as you open that phone and you're scrolling through, you instantly come across a girl who's traveling in Paris, who is an entrepreneur, who is showered with dozens of roses, and instantly your life just feels so small. And you start to fear that you're missing out in life or you're doing something wrong. Comparison keeps us running on this hamster wheel of life. There will always be someone who has something better than you. Someone's gonna have a better house than you, a better car than you, a better relationship than you, a better life than you. And nothing is ever going to seem enough because you can't seem to be happy with what you already have. You're going to be constantly chasing the next accomplishment, the next person, the next career path that will finally make you feel whole. And that's where the trap is, because you were looking outside of yourself to feel whole. So yeah, there's no such thing as having enough, and ultimately only you get to decide whether you are finally content and happy with what you have and whether you finally feel enough with who you are. And you can actually feel that right now, right this second, and I'm going to show you how. So first and foremost, understand that this negative voice that you have is not your own. As soon as you start comparing yourself to other people and you start to think less of yourself, understand that that voice is completely separate from who you are, and it is not rooted in any truth whatsoever. And it's basically a collection of all these insecurities that have been projected onto you when you were a child, when you were growing up. There were probably some people in your life that pointed out small little insecurities about you that you still stick with to this day. And so every time you find someone who has something that you think you were lacking because some really insecure person made you feel that way, you get triggered. Comparison only exists because you were once compared to someone else. And unfortunately, you were taught that comparison equals survival. And you were conditioned to believe that these resources are scarce, that love, abundance, beauty, not everyone has equal access to those. That's not the truth though. The truth is everyone has the right to love, abundance, freedom, beauty. This is actually within all of us. And we were just made to believe over time that this was something outside of us and we had to fight for it, and not everyone can have it. And I get it, trust me, sometimes this voice, it seems so real and it's so loud, and sometimes it's like so hard to ignore it because it almost becomes us. But it's going to take practice. Over time, you're going to have to learn how to separate yourself from that negative voice, because you have to ask yourself, who is this negative voice serving? Is it actually serving in the betterment of you? Is it actually helping you grow into being a better person? because I bet you this voice only brings you down. It only makes you hate yourself more. It only makes you jealous of other people and bring negative energy. Unfortunately, this voice is only serving people who benefit from you being insecure. Like people who are in charge of these beauty industries, they are all benefiting so much off of women being insecure, off of women not being confident in their value and their worth. And when you start comparing yourself, it creates this like bottomless pit of never feeling enough. And so you chase after all these external means to make yourself feel happy, when really the answers were within yourself. Okay, so how do we finally feel like we're enough? The most important thing you need to do is to address your relationship with God, with the universe, with the creator, whatever you want to call it. It really doesn't matter to me. All it matters is that you cultivate and nurture this relationship, because it will fix every single problem in your life. I guarantee that. It's really sad, but a majority of us do not feel loved by God. A majority of us do not feel enough. We don't feel like we're chosen. We don't feel like we're lucky. In fact, we feel the opposite. We feel like we're constantly unlucky. Hardships keep coming after us. God doesn't favor us. God loves other people more. We're being punished. All of this has been conditioned into you over time. Unfortunately, it's been passed down to you over time, and it is not true. So allow me to remind you that the same artist who created the mountains, the sunsets, the galaxies, the stars, the roses, the waterfalls, the hummingbirds, that same creator didn't feel that this universe would be complete without me or you. You weren't created to find love, abundance, beauty. You are love, abundance, beauty. Is this starting to make sense? You need to understand that you are completely whole, and the best that you see in others is simply a reflection of you. Once you cultivate this relationship with the source, with the creator, and you understand that you have your own inherent worth and beauty, and nothing outside of you can shake that, you will become the most powerful person on this planet. And I want each and every one of you who's watching this video to truly feel that and to recognize that, because it is crazy how little of us actually remember and understand our worth. All that being said, I'm not going to deny that there are genuinely people out there who seem like they've won the genetic lottery, who seem like life is always being kind to them. They don't have any hardships. They had all the right ingredients growing up. They have parents who love them unconditionally. There are those people that exist. So I'm going to start to get a little spiritual on you guys, and I hope you can follow through. This belief is deeply rooted in Kabbalah, which is a mystical, esoteric interpretation of Judaism. But honestly, I've been seeing it across a lot of religious texts. And basically, there's this idea that our souls chose everything that we're currently experiencing in our life in order for us to become the highest version of ourselves. So the parents that you have, the hardships that you have, anything that's happened to you into your life, your soul actually chose this. It actually chose to come to this world, knowing that these hardships would be exactly what it takes for you to become closer to God, for you to become the highest version of yourself. Whether you believe in that or not, it really doesn't matter, because it still emphasizes the idea that hardships happen to mold our soul to become the best version of ourselves. And I will be direct testimony to that. I've experienced my fair share of hardships, and although it's not preferable to go through it, I can now look back and genuinely agree that I needed to go through every single one of those tests to get to where I am now. I would not be standing here talking to this camera with all this wisdom had I not gone through the hardships that I have. Hardships are kind of like this necessary ingredient to your spiritual awakening. If you are given an easy life, you don't get the same lessons and like nuggets of wisdom from the universe without hardships. You really don't. And so you could probably live a very easy, nonchalant life and just cruise by, but that's all you're going to be doing is just cruising by. And you'll be probably living a very superficial, monotonous life. And in fact, people who aren't given hardships, who were just blessed with everything to begin with, they actually tend to be the most depressed people. If you look at people who are like trust fund babies and they've been given a lot of money to begin with, they actually become very depressed because they're not embarking on the same journey where they're learning all these lessons and, growing and changing. They actually don't really have much purpose in their life. They've been already given everything. They didn't have to earn anything. But it's that very process of like going through life, learning things, growing, and kind of like earning your success. That is actually what makes you feel so fulfilled in life. And so be careful when you start comparing yourself for people who seem to have it very easy, because it's not all roses and flowers on their side either. And also, no two lives are exactly the same. We all have different circumstances, different parents, different upbringings, different challenges that affect who we are. I'm starting to realize everyone has some sort of mountain to climb on. And the worst feeling is not climbing on a mountain, it's climbing up the wrong mountain. And sure, someone else's path may seem a lot easier, it may provide a lot of external validation, it may look great on paper, but it's not your path to live. And if you follow someone else's path, you're going to have someone else's life. I didn't even drink my peppermint tea. Also, it's kind of getting dark. I'm sorry for the lighting. So I'm just going to end off this video saying, I really hope you're starting to get the gist of it, that comparison is completely an illusion. It's only going to hold you back from becoming the best version of yourself. These thoughts that you're having that are bringing you down are not serving you. They're serving people who benefit off of your insecurities. I want you to leave this video feeling so certain and sure of yourself that nothing outside of you can ever create doubts within you ever again. So that's what I've been learning about comparison. If you guys like this video, you like my content, definitely make sure to subscribe, support my small channel. I make a lot of videos where I sit down and chat, but I also make like day in my life vlogs where I'm just filming and documenting the journey of me becoming the best version of myself. And I feel like it could be really inspiring and helpful because a lot of us are probably going through that same path. Also, I just created a Substack where I'm going to create weekly posts. So definitely make sure to subscribe. That's when you'll get a lot of like extra juicy content and basically everything that I'm learning about spirituality, quantum physics, religion, self-growth, healing. Like, you guys, I am putting in the work. Whatever I learn, I want to share with you guys. So definitely make sure to subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.